Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the 4th edition, December 4th edition of Morning Mindset. I'm your host, Todd. How are you doing today, folks? It's not as cold as Monday, but it's still cold. It's still cold out. So we're dealing with that. It's your first time here, a long time here. Hey, guess what? Welcome, Morning Mindset. That's what I need from you. Who you are, where you're from, what's in your cup, and what the weather is like in the area. It's cold. I think it feels like it's in the 20s here. We got coffee in the cup. And so, what are you doing? What's your stuff? And then our top 5. What are 5 things that you are going to accomplish today? So, going through our stuff, trying to get caught up on DTF. We had a lot of stuff come in from the holiday weekend, so getting caught up on that. Should be all caught up by the end of the week, so just be mindful of that. We're getting there. So we've got that. We've got a store to process. I heard the cutter being a little weird. But of course, we've got cut HTV. We took in a bunch of glitter that we're working on. We've got stickers that need to be printed, and then I've got testing products on the laser. So those are the most important things that I need to get done today. DTF needs to get going, process stores, cut HTV, print some stickers, test some laser. That's it, right? That's our 5. So what are your 5? And today's topic of choice is taking a step back. We're going to talk about what that means today, because we're going to be taking a step back from some stuff and how this all played out. So let's check in. Good morning, Renee, from cold, windy, and sunny Chicagoland. Yeah, that sun's deceptive. It looks nice, and then you go outside, and it's not. Water in the bottle, coffee in the cup. Working on my must-do 5 for today. Very, very nice. Chuck, how cold? What's up, Chuck? How cold are you talking? You're probably talking like 45 or something, right? Right? I'm not saying I love that about Florida, but I do love that when it gets cold in Florida and they have to put out the watch for falling iguana alerts. Yeah, that's crazy. Cindy, good morning. I just know it's cold. I'm drinking a black cherry bang today at a craft show that's almost in Todd's backyard. Are you over at 4,500? Is that where you're at? Is that today? I think, but yeah. Cindy, give me a little more info, because it's at 4,500. Then it is. It's the 4th through the 6th, right? Now I got to look, because I just want to double check something before I get all crazy in my conspiracy. That's not conspiracy theory stuff. I'm looking at there. December 4th and 8th. Yeah. 10:30 to 3, because we made the signs for it. There it is. 10:30 to 3. So, you know what? That's going to be on my list today, Cindy. I'm going to stop over there, and we're going to see how you're doing. So that's what we're going to do. Cindy, do you have any blank jewelry? Anything any misprints, anything that's wrong with that? Because I'm testing out, I've got to do some sunglasses today on the F1 to see if they'll do it. I can pick some stuff for you, and then we can do it and then see how it works. But yeah, there is the holiday market event. We did signs for it, 10:30 to 3. So yeah, it is in my backyard. It's literally like 2 blocks away. All right, back to where we were. Jenny, good morning. North Central Minnesota, 16, snow and wind. This was yesterday. Water in the cup, 5 things. Jenny, we're scheduling, invoicing, DTF, 3D printing, work on business. Oh, no, this is not Jenny. This is Barb. When I started looking at this, I'm like, what we got here? So Wednesdays are Work on Business Wednesdays in our mentorship community. We have office hours set up from 11 to 3. Wednesdays work like this. When I'm done with this, I go get on our mentorship community. We open it up for our hour-long chat that we do on there, and then we open up office hours after that. So you have somebody to work with, you have somebody to talk to, you have somebody to bounce ideas off of. It works out pretty good on it. I'll be in there for a minute setting everything up, and then I'm not sure on the rest of the day. Wednesdays, kids get out early. I have to test some stuff on the laser to see how that works. And now I've got to go visit Cindy to see how she's doing over there. So I think we'll do that. But that's a great day. In morning, Cindy and Barb from Renee. There's Jenny. I was looking over on that side. 26 degrees. Snow is on the way. Yeah, that's the snow that we had. And ours wasn't horrible. You're going to get probably that lake effect snow. So good luck with that. Hi, Renee, Chuck, and Cindy from Barb. And hi, Jenny from Barb. George, good morning to you, my friend. You are good. 45. See, I figured 45 cold. Hi, Jenny. Hope you have a great show, Cindy. Yes, 4,500, 10:30 to 3:30. See, I knew because I made the signs for it. I got to turn the heater on it, but if Corey's got to run errands and that, and maybe we'll sneak in. Maybe I can con her into a lunch date today, and we can swing over there and then go on a lunch date. Maybe we'll see. Good morning from Toledo. It's cold outside, 27. This is Tim. Tending away, got a couple jobs to do. Other than that, more kinds of business. More kinds of business might not be in the call very long. Tim's rocking it today. And Sarah, good morning to you. Real field, 10 degrees, wind advisory in the forecast again. I saw we have one pop up. It starts at noon to today to noon tomorrow. Coffee in the cup. And hi, Tim from Barb. Okay. So we're caught up on those. And hey, Sarah, we're right there. We got it. Now, topic for today was taking a step back. So I met with my mentor yesterday, and we're just reviewing kind of, how the year has been and if I accomplished everything I want to, and I did not. There were some goals that we set that we did not hit. And it's because I'm pretty scatterbrained on things, and I didn't have, clear path to get there on certain parts of it. So I need to take a step back. Let me take a step back and see what actually is working, what isn't working. Am I spending too much time on things that aren't income, generating activities, right? Was that income generating activities? That was the word, right? Revenue generating activities, income generating activities. One of those two, somebody will correct me if I'm wrong on that. But on some of the things, is the juice worth the squeeze on it? When we were going through stuff, signs were something that we do that not a lot of people know because we don't push it out there for it. But then am I chasing that around? That's not our niche, because I felt that, on some of these businesses and that we would get, in with yard signs or banners, and then be able to be like, hey, if you need anything else, we can help with that. If you got signs, need banners, employees need apparel and marketing materials. What do you need? And so by not knowing or showing that we do that, am I missing out? And so I felt like we're missing out on that. But, after talking with my mentor, going over things, my stuff for the next week is to kind of sit down and go through the things that I really want to do. Because I know people say, do what you love. If you do what you love, then it's never working a day in your life. Well, the issue with that is passion doesn't always pay, right? So just because you're passionate about something doesn't mean you're going to get paid doing it. And if it doesn't pay the bills, then we got some issues. So there's kind of some tiers that we need to work on with that, and how does that all work and play out? Because when I look at things, we've got kind of three parts of the whole business here. We've got our retail side, which this year we were transitioning more and more over to Corey's business. Level Up is taking care of all retail needs, all local needs, everything through there. So we've been focusing more on that. So then when I look at sales on our side, it looks down, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And realize that a lot of those retail sales aren't there because they're now on this other channel. Then it makes sense. So then we've got our print side of things, and that's the signs, the banners, the decals, the DTF transfers, UV transfers, glitter transfers, all of that. But it's spread across 2 websites. And how do we do that? So do we need to make that into one? Because for the most part, Printco is just, on the print side of things. And we've kind of kept it that way for a reason, so it's easier to manage. But do we need to move some stuff over there? Glitter transfers and reflective transfers. We've done a lot of those in the last 2 weeks, and there's not a lot of people that know about it. We've got probably 5 clients that monthly will order specialty HTV transfers from us. We could do more, but is it worth it to push that side of it? Because it is labor intensive weeding vinyl. It brings in revenue, but is it worth advertising for that? So really look at what that needs to be done there. We ran some ads, spent a couple $100 on the ads last month. And what we were trying to accomplish, we didn't accomplish that goal. When we were looking at it, I think we were creating too much friction. As we were going through it, is how can we readjust this so there's no friction at all? And that's what we're working on for the next ad set. So we can promote the DTF side of things more. And then on our ready to press transfers, as doing research, going over stuff, talking with people, other ones in the same boat we are, where they are, a transfer provider, but then they also offer their own. They said the easiest thing for them was they had to set up a group for it. Well, we have a group, but that's more of the business group. That's more of the things that we're doing there. So to flood that with transfers that we're doing, it doesn't really flow with that. So it was recommended to start up a new group just for the transfer side of it, so you could go back to it. Because remember, for those that have been here for a while, when we used to do our bundle drops every Thursday, when it was Thursday, 1 o'clock, we'd go through, here's the new bundles that are out, here's the new stuff. We'd give some stuff away, and we'd move on from there with it. Well, we're not doing that. We haven't done that. We fell off on a lot of things that we once were doing. A great example of that is, Tuesday with Todd. We were doing that consistently, and over the last year or so, it has fallen off. And it wasn't that it was that I wasn't making time for it. Definitely not for the produced content side of it. Definitely not for just putting things together. And made excuses, and it was something that of why we didn't do it, what was going on with it, and it was just excuse, and that's what a lot of it was just an excuse for things. And I need to get back to that. So it's, how do we get back to there? How do we get back into creating more time to do these things? Are we focusing on just on one part of the business? So one arm of it, or are we just going to focus on retail, team stores, corporate stores, fundraising stores, just focus on that and go all in on that? Are we focusing on growing the print side of things? Are we focusing on our community side of things? Because we do offer trainings, we do offer a lot of one-on-one sessions. We have our mentorship community. We've got a lot of things that we do, but we're just not pushing it. So, where are those parts of where are those pieces to the puzzle? Now, one thing that somebody brought up is, hey, 5 years ago, you were really active in a lot of groups and helping people, and you really enjoyed that, and that's where a lot of things came from. And you're absolutely right, and that's where my passion is. But if it doesn't pay, it's hard to justify doing that. And so trying to say, hey, yep, we're going to focus on this. Okay, well, how does that become a revenue stream? Is there a way to do it? Not saying that I won't do it if it doesn't, because I love doing it. It was, how can we get there more effectively, more efficiently? We get asked to be on panels, we get asked to do on trainings. There's a lot of back end things that we get asked to be a part of that you guys never see, never know, never have any part of, because it's all NDA stuff. And so there is that aspect of it where we can say, hey, yep, we're getting millions of views a month. We are, we've got 12,000 followers on Facebook. We can grow the other platforms. We can start spreading our message more and get more people into our mentorship community, more people in our trainings, and what other things can we add to it? So my next week of stuff is to go over it and how can we do it. And as I was talking with somebody in the DTF arena last night, as I was asking them about how their transfers work and if where they saw it, and they said they were running the same thing, where they have people that they just want to buy transfers. They just want to buy, holiday stuff. They want to buy this stuff, and that's what they do. And they said it was easier for us to have a group where everybody was in and we could just talk about it in there and not have that along with their other group. And so then we got talking about numbers, and they said, goals and things like that. And they said, well, we want to get to, 250,000 a year on DTF sales. I said, okay, so I ran the numbers with them. And for 250,000 in DTF sales, you need 10 customers per day buying a single 10-foot gang sheet. So that's it. That's all you need, is 10 customers a day. So if you have 300 to 500 customers, because not everybody, is going to buy. Some might buy once a month, some buy more, but let's go 300 customers, 30 days in a month, 300 customers. Everybody buys once a month. There's $250,000 in sales. At 10 feet of DTF, that's only 100 feet. So that's a third of a roll. That's nowhere near a day of printing. It's just a couple hours of printing. So it's totally feasible and easy to do. One person, one machine, be able to go from there with it. So that's, I believe, that the focus on that side of it. And as we were rolling through it, if 250 was kind of the it was kind of the benchmark that we were talking with last night. So, looking at on the retail side of it, we just do team stores, fundraisers, corporate stores, spiritware, things like that. You want to hit 250K in revenue. And remember, these numbers, 250K doesn't mean, if I'm doing 250K, that doesn't mean I'm putting 250 in my pocket, right? It goes to the business, it has bills to pay, it has equipment needs, it has all of this. But sales, as long as you're doing your stuff right, you're going to make, money. So on those, if you wanted to, 250K in sales on that, you need 2 stores per week with $2,500 in sales. So not difficult, $5,000 a week, not difficult on that. You're looking at 100 customers, 100, what was that? 100 customers, 104 customers. So, it's how to market those. What is that? Well, let's say in your area, how many schools in your area do you have all the schools? How many people outside of that? Are you doing stuff for different, the sports organizations, things like that? So it's all there and feasible to do. Next, we went into the community, where if I want to hit that same 250K mark in there, how is that possible? In our community, we've got our affiliates in there, we've got our ads, we've got paid sponsorships, we've got our courses. Could there be a book in the making? Is there our membership communities? So there's a lot of ways to make that and have that happen. So that's what I did, was I took a step back. And I'm brain dumping this stuff of, here's ideas, here's how we can do it in that, DTF, new customers, ad sets, run ads, spiritware stuff, new customers, ad set, run ads, community, things that I'm seeing, as we rebrand, in our mentorship community. I'll talk about the name in there and get people's thoughts on it, but keeping this, doing this 3 times a week, but how can I increase this? How can I get more people out there? How can I get more viewers to see this? Well, you guys help by sharing and liking and subscribing and doing all of that. But I need more of that. So looking at how to grow that side of things. I'm going through my stuff here. We'll have the rebrand, content creation. I'm seeing a lot more. And when we're looking at content, it is, like the daily aspects of it. We do a weekly vlog? Here's what we did throughout the week. Here's stuff that we talked about. Here's stuff that we worked. Here's this. Like this week, when we're looking at stuff, we've got a 3D printer to put together. We've got laser stuff to test out. We're in the mix of cutting HTV. We're in the mix of DTF. We've got all this stuff. So, a weekly recap vlog, just to go over the ups and downs of stuff. Content creation. Putting stuff together for Tuesday with Todd. We've got we used to do a ton of it with sublimation and with DTF and with laser. It was mostly, I just lost my thought there on sublimation side of things. Get back to that. Show the products off. How do they work? So can I create content on that? Absolutely. It doesn't need to be it, but for an 8-minute video, it's not unheard of to invest 8 hours of time in an 8-minute video, and you figure, well, how's that? Well, if you're recording the process and you got multiple camera takes and you got eights and you got edits and you've got the pre-production part of it, what's the design? What are we doing? How is this set up? What's it look like? Setting scripts and do that. So it is. So, it's not uncommon to say for however many minutes of video is, if it's a 10-minute video, it took 10 hours in it to produce the whole thing. So doing things like that, and those are ways to be able to batch stuff. If I'm doing a day of sublimation, where I just take 4 hours and here's the products, filming each one of them as we're doing it, pressing the process, going through it, and I come back and post work with those. You can do that, but it's setting up the plan, and this is a great time of year to do that. We'll start slowing down here in about a week or so for our, especially for our local stuff, things like that stores because stores are closing here in the next week, and then that's it until the first of the year. So we're just coming in the slow time. How can we, use that to make the best of it? How can we, test out new products? How can we show new products? Can we work with our affiliates on things that they're offering new and produce content around that? And so that's what we're going to do. Is we're going to, I just need to take a step back and decide where I want to go and what I want to do and who wants to come along for this ride with me. Now, with that, Barb says, good time of year to step back, reevaluate, and look towards a year. It takes a bunch of prep. Yeah, it does. It takes a ton of prep. It takes a ton, too, to look at stuff and be like, that just doesn't work. That's not working the way we need it to work. That's not working the way we want it to work. What do we need to change, adjust, and make better off that? What are the type of people that we're going after on certain jobs? On $1,000 jobs, we're not going to go with the person that is trying to that tagged us on Facebook Marketplace that who can make me a shirt today by noon for under $10. It's not a client, so we're not going to create content to be towards that client. We want to get more things in there. Is it more cold calling? Is it things that more emails? Is it more ads? What is that thing that's going to get us to where we need to get to? But if we don't know where we want to get to, how can we even set a plan in place for it? So it's working backwards from that. And that was where, hey, on DTF, we want that at 250. That's 10 customers per day buying a 10-foot gang sheet. Seems pretty simple, right? So how do we make that work? How many customers do we got to get in front of? How much can we spend to make that happen? Same way on everything else. So really going through little by little to see what we can do. Good morning, Renee and Barb, and hi, Sarah from Renee. The other one was from Sarah. Barb says, I need to be more social active, and that seems to be on my list every year. Brain dump is a good idea. I need to do that. And that's what I'm doing, is I'm just anything that's in my head of stuff that I want to do, stuff that I want to be a part of. Because, I'm not going to say that that we have a huge following, but it is nowhere near what it was. I think, we had a good following before COVID, and then COVID, we had an explosion of content creators. And now a lot of those are not creating content anymore. A lot of them they rode the bubble, they rode the wave, the bubble burst, and now, now they're back doing what they were doing beforehand. And so it leaves a lot of us, some things to pick up on it. How can we get back to where we were before? And a lot falls on me. What do I want to do? What do I want to do in life? Like, when do I want to grow up? Corey got me on a show. We don't even usually turn the TV on until like 10 o'clock at night, unless it's football, be on there. But for the most part, like turning on the TV to watch something together doesn't happen until 10 o'clock at night. So she found this thing on Netflix, Later Dater, I think is the name of it. And it's, I was going to say seniors, but it's not. It's like people 50 plus, blind dates and things like that. And I looked at her, I'm like, so that's us. Like, we'll be 50 in just a few years. Like, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. And, just kind of planning that out for her. It's like, okay, what are we doing from here and how are we moving forward? Is there things that we need to fix? Absolutely. Is there things that need to stay the same? Absolutely. Is there things that just need a little minor tweak? Absolutely. And so it's going through all of those things. Where are we unhappy with the business? What are things we need to work on with it? What's the exit plan for stuff? Is the plan to take this and keep this forever and, have one of the kids buy it and continue on the legacy? Is it take this and then sell it? What's your exit strategy on your business? Is it something that you plan on never getting rid of? Those are things to look at. At the end of the day, I want to be, a business owner, not a business operator. I don't want to have to work in the business every day if I don't have to. If I can put people in place and systems in place to allow that to continue to run, that's how businesses work. If I'm continuously monitoring printers, pressing shirts, waiting stuff, doing invoicing, doing that, then, I just have a job. And is that what I really want? Do you even contemplate going to work for someone else? I couldn't. That was one of the things I talked with my mentor last night, where there's ups and downs and ins and outs, and hey, who am I going to go work for and do this? But I'm like, I don't know if I could, unless it was in some kind of consulting capacity where you're bringing me on for a project and we're doing this together and then we're getting out of there. Absolutely. Oh, you're bringing me in your team and I'm going to handle this side of things for sure. Having that boss, their thumb on me, I don't know if I could do. But part of me feels like I do need that, because who do I have to hold myself accountable to, right? I'm going to do this today. Here's my stuff. Like, we're going just straight down the list here. DTF, process stores, cut HTV, print stickers. I don't do any of those. What happens? Nothing. Like, jobs fall behind, but I'm not getting fired. I'm not getting written up. There's no accountability. I just don't do it. So they need to do that, and that's part of why I make a list every day to check it off, move things around, get things taken care of, so that way it's done and we can move on to the next job. But it's a time for reflection, to look back and see what we need to do and how we can do it. A lot of planning. The Somebody said to me they're like, I don't know how you do it. And they said, how you do what? How you can get stuff done and you can be posting so much online and there. And I said, schedule it all. I'm like, I will tell you that. I take a couple hours a week and I schedule. So, 5-10 times a day that it shows that we're posting. It's not me. I mean, it was me, but stuff is scheduled out. There's stuff scheduled out in the next week that will continuously go out there for it. So it's staying front of mind of stuff. It's putting out those same images that we did at 8 o'clock this week, next week that we do them at 1 o'clock, and then the following week it's 7 o'clock. It's keeping that in that same rotation. Yeah, somebody's like, hey, I just saw this. Well, you know what? You were one of the people that seen it, and one of the other 10,000 didn't. So we just keep doing that. It's keep creating, keep putting things out there, and we'll get it. But there are a lot of ups and downs in being a business owner, and sometimes you just want to throw in the towel. And I know I'm not alone, and I know that was one of the things that was appreciated about me, was that I am very real with people when it comes to it. Ups, downs, ins, outs, when things work, when they don't work. We've had a lot of stuff fall apart this year. There's a lot of partnerships that didn't work the way they should have worked. There's ones that we invested a lot of time into just to see if it was feasible to make something happen, and it wasn't. And it wasn't through either party's fault. It was just something that was going to take more time than either one of us wanted to put into it. And so we're looking at how can we do different things, make things better, growing forward. How can we do that same thing? I want to be a part of a community that helps other people, and that's us. That's what we do a lot of, and it's nice. It's nice I do it. Sarah said, we rented a year ago that one day we could sell if needed. Currently, none of my kids are interested in taking over the business. See, so they rebranded because it was, what was it? Moose me, moose you, moose off. Moose, what was it, Sarah? I could go back and look and see what the image was. I can picture it in my head as it's printing off. But what is, what was that before? Moose my shirt. That's what it was. Moose my shirt. That's what it was. Moose my shirt. I knew it was something. But, currently none of the kids want to interested in taking over the business. So yeah, how can you build that to sell? And if it's something down the road that you're looking at doing, that's where a lot of people will get with business advisors now to be like, hey, I'm looking at selling this. What do I need to do to be able to do that? I'm not selling it now. It could be 5 years, 10 years down the road, but a lot of it comes down to the processes. A lot of it comes down to not being the face of a company. When you're the face of a company, it's harder to sell because then, the people, they're used to seeing you. If you're not staying on a part of it, are they really not doing it? So there's different avenues to look at and do. Bringing on partners, bringing on that. How does that change it? So definitely something to think about. Tim says, just blame Facebook for them seeing it again. Because man, I see things all the time. I want to see like Bears losses. I see that all the time too, man. All the time I see that, and it just upsets me. So yeah, facts, transparency makes you real and relatable for the rest of us. Hey, ask me anything, especially in our mentorship communities. And that was one part that I was told, is they're like, you do offer quite a bit of free stuff, but in the nuts and bolts of things, that's where your mentorship community would really thrive at. How many people do you need in that to make that a full-time, that gets your focus on it? So there's things that we're looking at, things that we're doing, and I'm gonna do my best to work on those, and I'll keep you guys updated along the way. That's what we're going to do. I do appreciate each and every one of you joining me as often as you do, because it always helps. But make sure to like, subscribe. Right now, we've got our mentorship call. It's actually starting in 27 minutes. So I'm going to go prep for that. By prep for that, it's like start Zoom now. We'll see if Zoom kicks on from there. And then we'll get that going. And then we have our open office hours from 11 to 3. So we'll make sure to get that tuned in so everybody can be in there for that. So until next time, you guys have an amazing day. Peace, love, press on. We'll see you.